Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Just sitting doing a little bit knitting, but I'm almost finished. I do orders. This is an order for a baby blanket. I do it from in the morning after I've finished breakfast and tidying up whatever I have to do until lunchtime, which is about 12:30. It only takes about half an hour for my lunch. I only have a sandwich. And then I'll do it again till about 2 o'clock. It's 2:30 now, so I'm putting this down anyway because I have 2 rants today. I'll pick this wool up and put it in my bag. One about knitting needles and another one about diversions, but I've got something else to show first. I received this card this morning. This is from Lisa, who recently bought some coasters from me. You know her as Dotty Dolly. The comments says that's her name she uses. I'm going to read the card to you. She says, I love barn owls since I was a little girl. I had a library book about a barn owl. The barn owl sums you up, Sheila. Eagle-eyed, silently knitting and crocheting, but gentle and very kind. P.S. I don't do short thank you cards. LOL. This is all my love, forever and always. This is from Lisa. Love you, Lord. So glad I found you on YouTube. You have made my life so much better. I'm glad about that. Now, there's a whole page of writing here. I won't read what she's got. This is what she means by she doesn't send short thank you cards. This is to Sheila. My bestest happy mail arrived Tuesday, the 21st of March at 11:30 a.m. I heard a something different noise through the letterbox and dared to wonder, was it happy mail? The coaster pink is my favourite colour. We'll have that in lounge. Turquoise is my second best colour. They will be in kitchen and bedroom. And something I must tell you, Lisa, do not put a hot drink on those coasters on a wooden polished surface, because they will leave a stain. The heat goes through them. As I found to my own amazement on my coffee table. So I have a special thing. I always have one of those pad things I put underneath the, it's hidden. I'll show it underneath the, that's mine. And that's the one I have, one of those underneath to stop it marking my table. It's all right on like a glass or like melamine or that stuff. That's not wood. But anyway, she says they're beautifully made. The magic circle in the middle is so tiny and neat. The petals are lovely. I love them. And she loved the crafty note inside. And something else I need to tell you, Lisa. Those coasters were not made by me. They were made by the ones that Emma sent to me. She sent me quite a few for me to sell on my shop. And she learned to make them from a tutorial I put up to make them. So she learned a very good lesson, because what you're seeing, she's made a good job of them. And she loved the crafty Sheila note inside. I always put a little card saying Sheila's crafty in the things that I send out. It's on her fridge door with my other favourite things. Loved how the crochet has kept straight with the Aldi crunchy nut cornflakes. I use cardboard off the cereal boxes and I put in they're just little packets that's just wide enough for the coasters, and I put any cardboard that I have, I save off cereal boxes and things, and I put it in the packaging to stop the packets from bending and things like that. And I will have to I will have to try then if it makes, I will have to try them if it makes me crochet and knit as fast as you do. That made me giggle so much. The card is a barn owl painting my friend painted. My friend painted local near me. Or she lives local near me, that's I think what she means. She had her art printed on cards. Wonder if we can make crochet card via a print. Oh, loud. And then on the back, it's got happy thank you mail. And it also, this must be the address of a friend that makes these cards. It's art by Jane B. Jane Greenlees 20 at gmail.com. That must be where you can buy these cards from. I'll have to put that link on my my video of the day, because this is a beautiful card. Really, I don't know what other cards, but it's worth looking. She's on Facebook too, Art by Jane. So thank you very much, Lisa, for that lovely card and all that little bit of information you put inside. And now I'm going to tell you about my rants. I'll put the card down there. My first rant is knitting needles. I started this blanket off on, I have them somewhere, I put the needles, oh there they are. This is a circular needle, 8mm, which I bought just purposely for to do these blankets. The last blanket I did on 7mm, and I thought, oh, I'll try 8mm because I think it'll, maybe it's not, I don't want the stitches so close and thick together, but make them a little bit looser. So I started on these and I was having an awful lot of trouble with them. The stitches, when I was knitting them, I just could hardly move them across the needle to get them onto the cable. And then when I come to knit the next row, they were so hard and stitches were so tight. And I couldn't understand how, you know, my knitting, I'm not a tight knitter, I'm just a normal knitter. I'm not a tight knitter or a slack knitter. I'm just what I class as normal. And it took me a little while to work out what was wrong, because it didn't matter what I did, those stitches came out tight like that. And then I've worked out, I knit very close to the edge, the points of the needles, because I bunch all when I'm knitting, I'll show you on here. I have all the stitches on the needle, I'm taking the stitches off that I'm knitting, bunched up close to the edge of the needle. And I knit very close to the edge, like that, so that the stitches just come off the needle straight away. It's doing it a bit slower to show you what I mean. But that's the way I knit, because I knit very quick like that. Put that down. And then I've noticed something with these needles. I have a point there, but the thickness of the needle is right down here. This is where the thickness of the needle actually starts, the proper 8mm. So this is very long. On this one, you see the silver on the edge of there. Well, the thickness actually starts before the silver finishes. It starts about there. That's where the thickness starts. So that's as much of the point, the thin point. But these ones, the thickness doesn't start about here. So you've got all of that. So I am knitting on the very point of these needles. So I'm getting a smaller stitch and I'm trying to push it onto the needle, because that's the way I knit. The only way I could do it was to push the needle right through like that, and then have to go right around like that to get the wool around the needle, and I gave up. I put them onto my needles. They're all bunched right up, but I know I've knitted a blanket before with this. There's 92 stitches on here, and I know I can get it onto the needle, but they're all bunched up, but I can't manage, so I'd probably end up putting these in the flaming bin. So that's one rant. These are pony, yes, these are pony don't know whether you can see it on there, pony 8mm needles, and I would not recommend these to anybody. I have some other pony ones. I'll check. I've never had any trouble with the other ones because they are thinner ones, but I'll have a check to see. No, the points are, these ones here, the points are in the right place. But these ones go away twice the length of this one, the points are. So they are never going to be used again. I had so much trouble and it took me so long just to knit one row. I think it took me about nearly 15-20 minutes, something like that, to knit one row. I could do it in 5 minutes with the needles. It was so annoying. But anyway, I am going to start my next. I'm starting things in the afternoon, what I'm knitting for myself, what I'm selling, things I'm going to sell. But I'm going to do I'm using this Wilko, and I'm going to do the 20-inch blackberry little baby cardigan it'll be to sell, but it's for to finish off my PDF because that's the only size left that I haven't done. So I'm going to start with this one, and I do like this Wilko yarn as well because this is 100 grams and there are 340 millimeters in this. It goes a long way. I could quite possibly get the cardigan out of one ball. I'm not absolutely certain, but I will see when I finish it, because the blackberry does have more rows in than if you're just ordinary plain knitting. Plain knitting you get about, or any kind of other knitting, you get about 7.5 rows to the inch. But with the blackberry it works out 10 rows to the inch, with you having to keep dropping stitches down and you're pulling them up like that, so you get less row, you get more rows, not less, you get more rows to the inch. So anyway, that's one. I'm not going to do any, I'll be doing a little bit of this, knitting a little bit of this while I'm telling you my other rant. My other rant is about diversions. I went to bingo last night. Never won anything, me and my friend. Well, you know, you can't expect to win every single row, every single time. I'm talking about rows, I'm talking about knitting now. You can't expect to win every time, that's what I keep telling my friend. I think I'm sort of drumming it into her, you know, she expects to win every time we go there. I put the wool on the floor, no. But anyway, when I was coming home, I dropped my friend off, and I always go on to the A1 from her place, and I always go A1 north. That's the way it is home for me. It's A1 south when I'm going there to pick her up, or it's A1 north when I'm going home. Well, we came off the A1 at the Gosford Park Hotel beside the Gosford Races. That's where I come off, and I carry on to a road called Sandy Lane. Well, there's been a lot of roadworks at the end of that Sandy Lane, and another road, Killingworth, somewhere near Killingworth. They're doing some roadworks anyway. They've been going on for quite some time. But I've never had any trouble. I've always been able to get past them. You know, they have cones all around the island and everything, and I've managed to get through no trouble. But last night, there are traffic lights just before the road. As you come up to the road, there's one road you carry straight on, and there's traffic lights, and that goes straight up to Sandy Lane. But you can take a road off left that goes somewhere else. Well, I always take the one up to the traffic lights and straight onto Sandy Lane. Well, once you're on that bit of the road where the traffic lights are, you can't go anywhere else. When the traffic lights change, you have to go straight onto Sandy Lane. Well, there was a sign right at the start of that road. It was in the wrong place, but it was right at the start of that road. And if the traffic lights were on green and you can go straight on, you don't have time to read those notes because you're not going slow enough. And you cannot stop to read what it says because you'd have people behind you tooting and complaining. So I saw this sign and it said something about road closed, but I couldn't do anything else. I had to drive down that road. And I had a feeling the road was going to be closed at the other end because I know about the traffic lights. But anyway, I carried on, and it's quite a long road. Comes near the end of the road, and all the traffic light, all the lights on the cars were on stop, and they were pulling up and turning around and going back again, which is what I thought was what's going to happen. Well, there was one car in front of me, and he stopped, and he didn't turn around, and was waiting for a few seconds, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to get out of the car and go and see what he stopped there for. I kind of turn around until he gets out the way, and there's cars behind me as well. So I was just about to get out of the car, but he got out first. He came and he tapped on my window, and he said to me, "Do you know this road?" And I says, "Yes, I know this road." I says, "It's closed." He says, "I know." He says, "Where do I go from here?" He says, "I'm a stranger here. I'm just visiting. I want to get to the tunnel road." I said, "I know the tunnel's on my way home, but," I says, "I can't get onto it," I says, "because of this road's closed." But he says, "Where do I go from here?" He says, "There was nothing to say about the road closed." I says, "Well, there was a sign, but," I says, "they had it in the wrong place." I says, "It looks like we should have took the road going left. There's probably diversion signs from there." So he says, "Where do you go?" I says, "Well, I pass where you want to go." I says, "I pass it just a few feet and I turn right going to Backwell." And he says, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go forward a little bit, give you a little bit room." He says, "You go out and turn around and I'll follow you." And I says, "Look a pet," I says, "I wouldn't follow me." I says, "I often get lost on diversions." I says, "Just turn your car around, go back up to the start of the road." I says, "Beside this, you come to the traffic lights." I says, "One road goes straight up and the other one is you go off to turn right." I says, "That's the one you'll have to take because that must be where that sign should have been." I says, "It was in the wrong place. So just go around there and then there'll be diversion signs. Just follow the diversions." I says, "And they'll probably take you up to back up to I says, "They'll probably take you to the A1 a bit further." He says, "I've just come off the A1. I says, "So have I, but," I says, "we're going to have to go back again." I says, "It'll probably take us up near Cramlington, the roundabout there." I says, "And then you'll go onto the A19 onto the tunnel road." I says, "It'll take you down to," I says, "you'll stay on the tunnel road if that's where you're going, but," I says, "I'm going to take the slip road off that says that'll be for Backworth and that, but," I says, "you'll be on the tunnel road, so," I says, "you just keep on going to wherever you are going." So anyway, he says he went away, and then I turned my car around and I started following him up there, and we got onto the road, and it was quite a long way actually, the road. I think I've been that way once before, but I couldn't remember. But you know, I never seen a single diversion sign. Oh, there was one diversion sign as we come onto the road, and there was not another one all the way. We're good driving along this road, and I didn't know whether we had to go right or left or anyway, and I take it that we were meant to go forward all the time because that's what they do when they put diversion signs up. They don't put another one up until you actually have to turn left or right or go around an island or something like that. Well, there was a couple of cars got in front of me with this fella, so I never seen whether he was okay or not. He sounded like an American, actually. I think he had an American accent, so he must have been on holiday or something. Yeah, well, he said he was strange to this area anyway. But anyway, we coming up to, there was a big island roundabout coming up, and it had just a sign saying end of diversion. I thought, well, where am I supposed to go from here? Of course, the big island, I saw one part for the A1 going south, and I thought, well, I always go north. So I carried on further around, and I seen the slip road for the A1 north. So I went up there, and I'm halfway up the slip road, and I suddenly realised, oh my God, I've passed where I normally come off. I should have been going south, not north. And I couldn't do anything else because I was on that road. I've been up that road before, and I know it's a very long road to the next slip road. So I had to keep driving along, heading up towards Morpeth, probably on my way up to Scotland again. So I'm driving up, and it took quite a long time to get to the slip road that I could take off, but I tried to find my way back to the A1 to go south. Well, I come through a little village thing, and I couldn't see where I'm driving along the road, and I took a left turn into this little like cul-de-sac place, and I thought, oh, I'm going to put my sat nav on. I'm not sure where the road is that leads to the A1 again. So I put it on for home, and I come out to this little cul-de-sac. It just said to turn left, so I was heading on the right road anyway, and it took me to the roundabouts. That took me to the tunnel road where I should have been in the first place, and took my little slip road off down, and then right going to Backwell through my village and then home. So I got in about, I normally get home when I leave the bingo, I normally get home about 10:15. It was about 11:05, I think, by the time I got home. So I was foaming. I'm looking at my watch here, has my blood pressure and everything on. I think my blood pressure was right up on here. I was glad when I got home. I hope they don't have any diversions on there next week, but I'll check the see roadworks things on my computer, and if there is, I'm just going to stay on the A1, and it'll take me straight up to the island that this diversion took me to. I can go that way anyway normally, but doesn't take any extra time, but I like to go the other way, the Sandy Lane way, like. But I was so annoyed, you know. Although, trust me, it's a good job that fella got in front of me and wasn't following me. I hope he took the road anyway, like. But that's in my head when I'm going home from the bingo. It's A1 North, and it was stuck in my head. So anyway, I'm just going to finish this row I'm doing on this knitting, and then start on that blackberry little cardigan, and then I'll be able to get the PDF sorted for that one. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.